Why, hey everybody. Gleecon? Is that my name? Who can say? Well, you guys can if you've been watching this show for any amount of time. We are doing another episode of Lore of Warcraft, and well, I'm excited because we've got a new horizon ahead of us. In a manner of speaking. On the last episode, we finished off wrapping up everything that involved Horde running through Scarlet Monastery. The day before, we had a really nice run through that. We had success in Razorfen Downs. It's really been pretty positive for that character, and Lee Contessa is all set up to start the Alterac Mountains, which is when we get there with this character, Lee Contessa, that's also going to have some excitement for us. So this same process is now what's going to be unfolding for us over the next couple weeks. We have to take Lee Contessa through Desolace, and then also bring her through Razorfen Downs and Scarlet Monastery. So stay a while and listen as we take Lee Contessa those first little baby steps. I think we start her off questing in Desolace, and we should be able to check some boxes. I'm over here because of that weird quest I had to do online. I have some auction stuff. I think my biggest problem is that I did some mistakes with the way I planned my... Yeah, see this? I successfully bought this... Oh, I successfully sold it? I sold something? And I also... I guess I maybe never collected it? I don't know what's happening. I got this stinking recipe. That was a waste of gold. I sent that from one of my other characters, but I already now have that recipe. You can buy that recipe online. I could post this on the auction house if I want. It's kind of silly. Probably just going to sell it and cut my losses. Alright, we do have to make our way back over to Desolace, which means I should probably take the old boat back over to Ratchet, and then we'll fly over there. Let's just make sure that we're not missing any of the Desolace setup quests as we get started. And I'm going to switch off and go back to Sanctiora now that we're going to be questing on our own. Don't remember why I was running protection, probably from some of the tougher... It's been a little time since we've been with old Lee Contessa here. So, she's very close to 40, so that means we're also going to get our Paladin quest in this time period. How's she doing on fishing? Do I have any of that? Nope, I'm all good for now. Again, we're really close to leveling up. Alright, so let's kind of look and just take a peeky poo. So we've got to now hit up a Desolace run for Alliance. So I'd like to add 3 columns. Doesn't matter. Left, right. Doesn't really matter. We need a Desolace setup like this. Just like we did with Nomergon there. Okay, and then we'll change this. So we're setting up the questing, and we'll extend this. Okay, so now we have our template in place. Again, if you want access to this stuff, this is one of the things I offer for free. Just check the description of every episode. Right underneath the link to our Patreon. The Patreon is a... I've got a couple free videos on there, but it's mostly for those of you that really want to support me in deep dive. There, I do a similar treatment, a show called Lore of Assassin's Creed. And I'm just about wrapping up the first Assassin's Creed game in that series. Probably 3 episodes to go. But underneath that link, there's a link to the sheet. So go ahead and check it out if you ever want to make a copy of this and get yourself going. So now we're going to come and look and see. I just finished Dustwallow Marsh on both factions today. So Centaur Bounty is where it looks like it's going to start. Let's also just take a peek at the capitals just in case. So if we go to Stormwind, is there anything in Desolace I need to worry about? Malin's Request. Pretty sure... Yeah, that's a Wrathy. That's Stranglethorn Vale and Dustwallow Marsh. No. I don't know what Mazin's Behest is. That has you run over The missing diplomat, that's Duskwallow. Bring the light. Raise your friend down, so we are going to eventually need that. Brother Anton, we actually do need that. You know what? So screw this. Because we have to go to Stormwind. So never mind. We got work to do ahead of us. There's no point to wait for this boat. We got business to do. I'll pick up the Raise Your Friend Down just quests while we're there too. And we'll pick up any of the quests that have to do with Scarlet Monastery as well. We have no quests in our quest bank right now. Now, if you look at South Shore here, there is a quest. Maybe not yet. Okay. Pretty sure. Maybe we already did it. Alright, so we're going to begin with the quests that we need here. So let me just take a peek at Mazin's Behest. I've looked this one up on this show so many times I can't remember. I can never remember this one. This is going to be taking us to Blasted Lands, yeah, so we do not need that. Okay. So, yeah, those I already listed off. How's our... Nope, we're fine there. What do I have up here? That's hot smoked bass. We do have night crawlers for our fishing. Okay, over here, Paranal Tiara. What's this? South Shore. Preserving knowledge, return to Milton. Ooh, I don't remember what that South Shore... I don't think this is... Yeah, it says Ruins of Alterac. Yeah, so that's an Alterac mountain. So it is coming up soon, just not yet. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that one. We'll leave that up for now. No. Paranal Tiara. Also that. Brother Anton, that's going to take us to the Scarlet Monastery. Bring the light. We might as well pick that up. And the missing diplomat, no. So there are those two that are tied to the dungeons that we can pick up. So we might as well get those while we're here. And then let's look at Ironforge. What do we have to do in Ironforge? I guess, man, it's been a while with her, so we have not set up at all. No, we don't have any. We're close on wool. Okay. Obviously, we need both. Okay, I'm guessing the Reclaimer's Business in Desolace. We probably want that. Mythology of the Titans, the Lost Dwarves, and Ironband Wanshu are all tied into Badlands, I believe, as is Reclaimed Treasures. So, we do have to go here, though, because we need Reclaimer's Business in Desolace. So if you look over at the spreadsheet, Reclaimer's Business in Desolace, yep. I don't know why I don't have this one listed as being Ironforge, but it appears that it is. Right? Okay. All right. So again, we're going to pick up Brother Anton and bring the light. We'll mark these off too once we get ourselves into a motion of, or whatever, needing to quest.
The Scourge is a persistent threat to the Alliance, a fact I am sure you know quite well. Recently, we have come across some very peculiar findings, Adventurer. In the Barrens lies a horrid tangle of briars called Razorfin Downs. While once it was the home of simple Quillbore, now it has become apparent that a pact was made with the Scourge, creating creatures far worse. They are now ruled by the Lich, Amnenar the Coldbringer. Align yourself with the light, Adventurer. Put an end to this evil union.
Oh, you scaled me. He buffed me. Oh, that's why. He gave me a power word fortitude with plus 32 stamina. Hey-o. Alright, Brother Anton, he must be downstairs because we don't see that. Yeah, we can crank out that heavy silk bandage too. So I guess that's a thing. Here's Brother, this is a Scarlet guy.
My brother in arms, Brother Anton, heard rumors of an undead infestation in distant Kalimdor, in a land known as Desolace. Anton immediately booked passage to that place to seek and destroy the undead menace. He is looking for those with the bravery and resolve to aid him. If your heart is true, then speak with Anton. He is in Desolace, in the Alliance town of Nigel's Point.
So that is a that's a quest chain that's it's considered Desolace, but I'm pretty sure this is one that opens up the Scarlet Monastery quest line. So things that we will complete while we're running around Desolace, and it's considered a Desolace quest, but I don't know what I have it listed on. How do I have it listed here? Okay, I have it listed as a Desolace quest, not as a Scarlet Monastery. Okay, so that's good. All right, so now we're gonna go to Iron Forge so we can get that other one. And I highly doubt, but I'm not 100% sure that we're gonna have nothing here in Darnassus. All I see is a donation of silk, so no worries there. And I'm about to burn through some more silk working on this Mage Weave bandage. Yeah. Alright, so I guess what we'll end up doing is we'll go to Iron Forge right now, and then from there we will go over to this place. Whatever, the Dustwallow Marsh, Menethil Harbor, or whatever. And from there we'll fly over to Nigel's Point. Actually, I don't even know that I have the Nigel's Point flight path. So if not, we will fly, I guess, yeah, we'll fly to the Stone Talon Peak and march our way down. I passed it. Too much multitasking going on. So yeah, the schedule's a little bit off today because I did have, like I mentioned on yesterday's episode, we had an early morning football game. Nailbiter ended up being turned second week in a row where we've turned a blowout into a nailbiter, but managed to pull out a win. Now we go into the bye. The weather's been off and on. There's yet another hurricane in the horizon, so we'll see how things go over the next couple days. That's going to impact our recording life. We shall see. Alright, we're gonna, while we wait on this tram, let's take some of these heavy silk bandies and get them built. I don't really know. I mean, it's good for money, so there's that. Which we burned some making that sword. Yeah, and now that I'm finished with Dustwallow Marsh fully, which is exciting, I now get to do the last zone in the bracket I've been working on, which is Stranglethorn Vale. A long zone, a fun zone, and that really sets us up. How many brackets total are there? There are the starting zones. And, okay, so we're at 230 and it's still green. Then, after the starting zones is the next chunk, which starts with Westfall. So there are these quote-unquote secondary zones. That's the second bracket. And then the third, you could argue, like the Red Ridge, Stone Talon, that kind of zone. Mixed with the Duskwood and Ashenvale. So, and then there's also Hillsbrad Barrens, Wetlands. Yeah, so there are the 4 initial zones. That's bracket 1. Then bracket 2 is the secondary zones for all of them, which are Westfall, Lochmadon, Darkshore, Silverpine. And then you could argue that yeah, I'm trying to picture it. You could argue that there is because yeah, there's Westfall, Lochmadon, and Darkshore for the Alliance. And then you could make an argument for the Barrens, Silverpine. And the Barrens is really all of them. So there's 5. So that bracket would be 5 with the Badlands, or the Barrens, I mean, really being a secondary kind of thing. So that's bracket 2. But you could call the Barrens in that one. And then the Barrens kind of transitions us over into Stone Talon, Red Ridge, Duskwood, Ashenvale, the wetlands and Hillsbrad. So there's really like a, 6 level or so bracket there. And whether or not you wanted to break that down into a second one... Oops, I'm going the wrong way for the quest. So you could argue that initial is either 3 large brackets or 4, with 2 of the brackets kind of being smaller, transitionary kind of things. And if you throw like Moonglade in there, which is not a real thing, then sure, we could call it 4 brackets. You throw some of the interstitial areas. Okay, so here's our reclaimer.
There's work to be done in Desolace, Adventurer. It's an atrocious place, befouled by Centaur and other nasties. But if you're looking for a good week's honest work, then head there, meet with Kreldig Ungor, and tell him I sent you. You can find him holed up at Nigel's Pond. It's a little cozy camp hidden in the mountains of northern Desolace. Just head east if you enter from the Stonetalon Mountains. It's easy to miss, so be on.
Kind of is easy to miss. Alright, there's not a lot that I can do with my blacksmith. I did level up to 182 off camera, messing around, trying to get some of this other stuff going. Yeah, we just need iron, basically, at this point. I can make steel, too. This stupid moon steel broadsword. Care about that. That's really all that one's going to go. So yeah, so basically, an argument could be made for 4 brackets. For sure.
Well, the Wildhammer dwarves might have fast steeds, but can those airy peaked
here,
griffins stand the heat of the Great Forge? I think not.
And then if that's the case, then you start looking at the next bracket. Well, we are in, if you want to call that 4, then bracket 5 is the one we're in the middle of. We're halfway through it with Desolace, and it wraps up with Alterac Mountains and Arathi Highlands. Then bracket 6 would be Swamp of Sorrows, Badlands, Duskwallow Marshes, Stranglethorn Vale. And again, Stranglethorn Vale is kind of like the Barrens in that it's a super mega zone, that it's kind of transitionary. But that could certainly be considered the 6th one, and that's the bracket I'm now starting Stranglethorn. Then after that, there are only 3 more. So there are the 7th bracket, which is Hinterlands, Tanaris, Searing Gorge, Fairless, and then the 8th bracket is Fellwood, Ajara, Ungoro Crater, and Blasted Lands. And then the final bracket is Western Plaguelands, Burning Steppes, Eastern Plaguelands, Silithus, and Winter Spring. So those 5 make up the sort of end game, where again, where you put Western Plaguelands in that is kind of up to you. That's slightly easier compared to the others, but barely. So that means you really could think of this game as having 8 total brackets, in which case you're going to make one big mega transitionary bracket, where you think of it as 9 with 8 brackets and then an end game bracket, which I like that way thinking of it too. So in that case, in the leveling experience, you have the primary and secondary zones. We've easily finished that quarter of the game, or that 20% of the game. Then there's the 3rd and 4th brackets, which take us up to right up to the brink of Thousand Needles. It's all these, the wetlands. It's all these zones that are like, kind of, sort of. I think we need to go on this side. Nice when we get a mountain. 9,700 XP. That would be cool. It's also a pain that whenever we travel, that we've got to go back. But I'm pretty sure this is the one that takes us over to Kalimdor. I mean, really, that one would work too. We could have flown from the Night Elf land over here, but that boat just left, so...
Greetings. You can find passage to Theramore from this dock.
Yeah,
Heed my
I guess
words,
either
those
one's
lands
good.
are rarely safe to travel for people of the Alliance. Watch your step and your back.
Okay, so then in that case, you are roughly halfway in the leveling experience done, or 40% of the way through the game when you get to, like, Thousand Needles, which is where we were. So now we're in this whatever. We're solidly with these characters working our way through that middle chunk. We're entering the third quarter of the leveling experience, and we will finish this out when we finish Stranglethorn Vale. That's where you'll notice our characters are going to be around level 50 at that time. And that's basically, that takes us, that grind from 50 to 60 is the final quarter of the leveling experience, I'd say. And then endgame. The 5 endgame zones, which I'm also looking forward to. All right, let's fix our spreadsheet a little bit here. Okay, so first of all, let's go over here. I want to open up a total of 6 more. Bang. Actually, I want to open up 9 more. Okay, why do I want to do that? Well, nope, I don't want that. Okay, I guess I didn't need that many, but whatever, it doesn't hurt to have it. This is going to be when we do a Razor Fen Downs run for our Alliance character. And I see that coming up, and this is going to be Scarlet Monastery for Alliance. I had somebody in the comments too say this is my favorite dungeon in the game. Can't disagree. Can't disagree at all. It's a pretty fun dungeon. Okay, we'll go ahead and just add a little bit so that we have room to mess about with these. Okay, get on the boat and now get ready. So my apologies for picking this up in Booty Bay. I had to do it to help one of my other characters, and it will help us in the long run. What we're doing right now is we're paying for the fact that we will eventually be able to use Glee Contessa to do these Moonsteel longswords. And I'll try and be proactive. That's not until we do Duskwallow Marsh, but we will eventually need it. So we're paying for something that is 6 zones away from us for now, but that's what doing the long kind of drive, like my off-camera like dry run that I do in Classic, because things can be just so much more difficult and tedious in Classic than it is in retail. So it really helps for me to pave the way with a couple characters. Don't leave boat. Just made it just in time. They jumped on as it left. All right, so the first thing we did is we picked up in these two. We picked these two up. So we picked up Brother Anton, which is a Desolace quest way down here. That one I did have correctly marked. Okay. Pick that bad boy up. We also picked up the Razorfen Downs quest, Bring the Light. The Host of Evil, the Scourge of the Down. The only other 3 quests happen in the dungeon, so we have nothing else that we really need to worry about for Razorfen Downs. We're good to go and start that dungeon right now. And Scarlet Monastery, there's only those 2. Mythology of the Titans, where... Did I miss that? I think I forgot to pick it up. Dag nabbit. So I took that journey to Ironforge, and it's right there. Darn. Okay. Well, we're not going to do it today because we don't need to. If when we go back for level 40, we can go make that run. If I remember. Because when we hit level 40, we're going to want to both level up and go hit the hit up the quest for learning our mount. The annoying part is going to be coming back here at the end, because this is quite a bit of a journey, and really we hearthed, so close, so close, so close. Now I don't think we have the Nigel's Point flight path, so I'm gonna just see where we're at with that. But I did miss. We could have picked up Mythology of the Titans, but I screwed that one up. Okay, and then the only other one we picked up was the Reclaimers. I'm going to get on this flight path before we mess with that. I'm looking forward to... This is, again, the zone I just finished was doing this.
Where would you like to fly to?
So yeah, see, we can't get there. So I'm going to go to Stone Talon Peak. And then we'll walk south from there. Dustwallow was actually one of the easiest zones I've done so far. There's one Horde quest that is kind of hard at the end, but really, first of all, for Alliance, it's not hard at all. There's nothing elite, nothing tough to get through this. No group quest. Nothing. And then for the Horde, you do end up fighting Onyxia's Brood a lot to the south. However, by this point, at some point, they took the Onyxia quests and they changed all of the mobs that were in front of Onyxia's lair, and they made them normal instead of elite. So Questy thinks that a lot of these quests are still elite, but they're not. They are. So there's nothing. There's one elite quest to fight, and it's really not that hard. The only thing, I mean, it would be hard if you were a melee class that had no real ranged option. So if you're a rogue or a warrior, and even the warrior could perhaps slowly tank it out, which means that the Holy Paladin, I don't know, that it would be tough for that class too, but very easy if you're a warlock, if you're a mage, if you're a priest, if you are a hunter. It was easy for me as a druid. Shaman would be very easy, because you could just gimmick the boss. Otherwise, you just have to team up, get a partner to do it. Like I saw a level 50 rogue trying to do it, and I think it was a level 45 elite quest, and he could not. But luckily, I was there and lent him a hand, and between the two of us, we were able to do it pretty easily. But yeah, yeah. Let's do this. What's it called? Reclaimer's Business in Desolace. We picked that one up too. So part of this is going to be the journey. Where are we at? 20. About half an hour. Okay, so when we get into Desolace, we will have some. I mean, these two things we've already done. They're neutral. We'll do them again. That's the one we will not do until we're going against the Maraudon guy for the first time. These are, again, the neutral, the caravan, all that stuff. It's all the neutral quests that we've all done. That's for Maraudon. And there's a little patch of things to do out of Nigel's Point. But if you look at what there is, it's really... We had to do a total of, in addition to all the neutrals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16, 19, 20, 24-ish, 24, 25, somewhere around that for Horde. So for Alliance, we're looking at 1, 3, 6, 7, 10, 14, 19. So about 5 less quests overall. So it's 20% shorter. So that means that's probably going to mean maybe 1 episode less. I think it took us around, I want to say 6. So maybe we get this done in 5, which chop off 2, add 1 for today. So by next weekend, we should be pretty much done with everything except maybe like Scarlet Monastery and stuff. And be needing to run that leading into the following week. So as we get close to the end of the following week, we should be all the way done with this and starting our next zone, which is going to be Alterac Mountains. And I think I can bust out the Horde quest for that, like in 1 episode. And then finally, so basically 2 weeks from now, we should be getting an opportunity to approximately, you never know what's going to happen in life, but approximately 2 weeks from now, we should be getting the opportunity to prove once and for all that our approach to unlocking the South Shore Assassin's quest has been figured out. Let's look and see on Reddit if people actually, what's it called? Syndicate Assassins? Yeah, really. Assassin's Contract? No, maybe. Nope. Yeah, so it's Assassin's Contract. That's what we need to check out. Okay, let's just see if I've got any upvotes on my... Okay, this guy's still 46 saying blobbity boo boo. This person sees yada yada yada. But where's mine? Okay, I've gotten 8 upvotes on mine, so people are liking it. I think mine will slowly... I don't know what you need to do. I think you have to hit 10, and then it will make it green, make it stand out. So we're a couple away from having this push forward. Nobody's put a comment on this yet. But my explanation of the event has been pretty sound. And we're going to check it out. So I really am eager about that, and we're just a couple weeks away from doing that. So, later on today, I'm going to get the opportunity to start working on Stranglethorn Vale, so that's going to be fun. Yeah. Last time we read the level 40 quest, so we've got that all caught up to. There's nothing else coming out until 50. So I don't even have characters that are level 50. Things will slow down now because, like I said, my characters are still level 48 going into Stranglethorn Vale. So having already completed 5 more zones, so we shouldn't have an episode where we're going to be pausing for a while. Now at 46, we will go ahead and do the fishing quest. The fishing quest line. We still have a little bit of time for that. She's also going to add, after this is all said and done, when I'm done with Scarlet Monastery, all that stuff, she is going to have an episode where she goes and does the Amber whatever. So that will probably be a level that we tack on, like when I go to turn in the Scarlet Monastery quests. Again, nowhere near as many. All we have to do for the Scarlet Monastery quests is find the book in the library, which we've already done a whole episode just about that book, a little mini episode. And then this one, which is exactly the same as Into the Scarlet Monastery, where you're just killing. Today we're going to pick up... I don't even know what we're going to do. We're going to pick up Brother Anton down the Scarlet Path. Sure, Reclaimer's Business. Centaur Bounty is the easiest one to get early off the mat here. I think the way... Yeah, Strange Alliance and Brutal Politics are the two that you... That's the difference between Magrum and Gelkis Alliance. So remember, we're gonna side with the Gelkis first. Not today, though. I just don't feel like it. I'm not mentally prepared. I actually have an idea, and I can't remember if I talked about this on the last in any of the recent episodes. But when we hit those like 2 solid hour, because it's about a 2.5 hour grind to switch back over from Gelkis to Magrum. So we did talk about hey, let's find a talking point, and I kind of started one, but I had this idea of going on to the Warcraft message board and the Reddit, I mean, the classic WoW and the lore of Warcraft Reddit, and just putting a post saying like, hey, I have a show, and if anybody wants to provide me with some talking points, and I'll try to be, a little bit more engaging than that. Essentially, giving a little backstory. It will be a little bit of shameless self-promotion. So I got to do that. We've really stalled. We've just hit the in the past like week and a half. The numbers have just frozen. I don't know what has happened. I don't know what's happened with the old great algorithm in the sky. I don't know what has changed things around, but all of a sudden I've just basically hit a freeze, where it's been a solid week and a half with like a net total of like -1 subscribers or something like that. Or maybe it's a net total of +1, but we were up 2, lost 1. We basically went like, there was like a week stretch where I had like no gain, lose 1, no gain, lose 1, no gain. Yeah, and so then I gained 1, and then no gain. So it's been a frustrating way to end out the month, and it has seen it's made my numbers drop like in half. We had a solid month, and then now because of that, basically spending a third of the month not gaining or really losing. And what's really sucks is, and I wonder, there's like the conspiracy theorist in me wonders if this is almost intentional on YouTube, because this all started happening right when I was less than 10 subscribers away from hitting that threshold that will allow you to become a paid account on YouTube. So we are sitting here about 7 subscribers short of that, and now I don't think it would like indefinitely end. I think, but I wonder if like if the algorithm will choose me a lot less, because what the difference between an account getting 990 something and 1,000 for the actual practical purposes of YouTube is nothing. There's no benefit to really push me up to 1,000. However, the downside is then I would become a paid account. So I would imagine they want as little of those. They don't want a lot of those, although if it's quality. But it also could just be, it's not always like that. It could just be that my show needs to be better, and that I'm totally, that's a huge possibility too, and I'm well aware we have tons of space for improvement. That's what's good though. There's always ways to get better. We're not like, it's not like I'm 5'5" and I really want to be 7 feet. Like it's not like I'm staring down the hole. Like there are ways. It's just, what do I want to invest in time and money? Where, you know, how much, and for what I put into the show, considering I still have to be, you know, still have to work a full-time demanding job. This is a pretty good sweet spot for now, and we'll see about putting in more. Like I think I mentioned on the last show too, like I'm just kind of in a nebulous spot right now where I'm waiting to see how I feel, how everything shakes out. Of course, I'm leaning towards keeping up with the status quo and just putting my head down to the grindstone, keeping the grind going. But I do have a meeting scheduled this upcoming week which could range anywhere in the, because, you know, obviously it's as I mentioned, I had a big job-related disappointment, and when that happens, I don't know, I think I've never been really good about faking it. That's probably part of the reason why I am where I am in my career, and why my ceiling is, I maybe have reached it. And that's I'm not a super political creature, and I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and on the one hand that does allow me to create positive relationships, and people know when I talk to them that I'm being genuine, and you're going to receive a kind of a youthful exuberance from me about the things that I positively care about, or that I feel good about. But then when things are painful for me, then I sometimes wear that on my sleeve too, where you can tell I'm in a bad spot. And I like, for instance, if we were going through the same article as a parent, the same topic, like, sometimes you just suck it up for the kids, right? My wife's always been significantly better about that than I am. She'll suck it up. You know, we'll be in the middle of whatever dramatic or stressful situation might happen in our life, and a kid will walk in the room, and she'll be able to just turn that off and you know, interact with the kid positively, and that's good, because the kid's not going to benefit from the added, like, being sucked into the parental stress. And so there's analogies that can be definitely drawn when you're in the professional workplace. Like, all the workers don't, all your coworkers and subordinates or superiors, they don't need to know if you're going through it. And I get that. There's nothing positive. You know, at some point in my life, I must have had some sort of positive reinforcement in whatever that looked like, for sulking or for wearing my emotions on my sleeve. And there might be a little bit of nature along with that nurture, but it's a habit, or it's a personality trait that I have that, like I said, it does come, it's a two-sided coin, and one side of that coin is something that I wouldn't want to lose about myself. But there is the other side where there's no need to spread your own negativity out into the world. Ooh, look, Giggler. Let's go fight that bad boy. I don't think I've seen him before. It makes me think of, like, Lion King. Alright, so this is a rare called Giggler, a rare hyena. Let's fight this bad boy. He's a level 34 rare. I just don't want to aggro on, like, another mob. But we got him. We got Elder's Pants of the Owl. Why was that giggling hyena walking around with an elder's pair of pants? I don't know. Do I need tin? Nah, but I probably should turn my mining detecting on. So yeah, I got sidetracked, but anyway. The whole reason I said that is my meeting is one that my boss has scheduled with me. I did work one day after my disappointment, and one of my bosses came and had a good talk with me and gave me good advice, not necessarily advice that I wanted to hear, but it was solid advice, and I get it. Like, from an organizational leader standpoint, I get what he's saying, and it puts the ball squarely in my court for how I want to react and grow, and that's also fair. So I didn't walk out with a smile on my face feeling like the sunshine was there tomorrow, but I did walk out with a sense of responsibility that it's on me to really question why I do what I do, and to be honest about the opportunities that I have to be better, you know, without just, like, expecting anything in return.
I am Valarial, adventurer. I've come here to discover the whereabouts of two missing nobles of a Darnassian merchant family. House Malam, the father of the house, fears the worst, and I am to do everything I can to find his missing children. I have yet to start my search for Tyrannus or Dalinda, but I'm hopeful I shall not be here long. Last word tells of them passing through the Stone Talon Mountains a few weeks ago. If you find their wagon, please come find me immediately. So
this is right there. Luckily, we don't have to go up to Stone Talon yet, because I don't want to walk back. We just came back there. So that's Valarial's Search. Part 1, we just picked up that bad boy's quest. Okay. Here's Centaur Bounty.
Many clans make up the Centaur race. Each has its own leader and agenda, but all the clans have one thing in common: cruelty. If we are to ever find peace, then the Centaurs must be removed. And so I put you on the task to do just that while wandering Desolace. Hunt Centaur and take their ears. Bring me many, many ears. Do this in service of the Alliance, adventurer, and we will be one step closer to war's end.
Okay.
For the Alliance, light be with you.
The Alliance has many stakes in Desolace, and our hold here is unstable. Will you help us? Oh, let's add Centaur. What's it called? Centaur Bounty. That's the easiest quest in the zone, and it's not even close. Wrong way. There we go. Okay. Pick up. Alright, Strange Alliance
We
and
are
Brutal
fortunate
Politics.
the Centaur clans fight among themselves, for if they joined into a single force, then they would be unstoppable. Yes, we are fortunate, and we should press our advantage. One of the Centaur clans, the Gelkis clan, is in brutal war with the Megrim clan. If we attack the Megrim, then perhaps an alliance may be struck with the Gelkis. Speak with Uthek the Wise in the outskirts of the Gelkis camps in southwestern Desolace. Through her, we might strike an alliance with the Gelkis. Desolace is a land at war. The Centaurs wage war with each other, and we believe the victor among them will spill out and threaten our strongholds. That we cannot allow. We must learn how to beat the Centaurs, and to do that, we must ally with one of the clans. The Magram Centaurs war with the Gelkis. If you fight the Gelkis, then the Magram might consider an alliance. Earn the favor of the Magrams, then speak with Warug in the Magram village in southeastern Desolace.
Alright, so we got Strange Alliance and Brutal Politics. Strange Alliance, here we go, which is the one we will do first. And we did pick up Brutal Politics as well. I don't know where I think I missed that one, just like last time. Yeah. Right here, same thing. I think we would need to do... I think I forgot to do it on both of these accounts. So Gelkis Alliance versus Strange Alliance, I think. And then what was the other one? Oh no, not Strange Alliance. It's called, what is it? Brutal Politics. So yeah, I think I just forgot that one last time. I mean, I think I forgot it on both accounts. I think I forgot to use the mission that I switched over. Yeah, so that adds both characters got to add. Both accounts, I mean. Alright, so here's the Reclaimer's business in Desolace. This is that breadcrumb that sent us out here from Ironforge.
Glad to see the Reclaimers aren't in short supply of work, or adventurers willing to help out. I'm Kreldig, adventurer. You've made a smart move helping out the Reclaimers. Everyone needs something these days. They've lost a family heirloom, a magic item, a loved one. You never can tell, but with the Reclaimers around, there's no reason. For the right price, everyone can't find what they've lost.
And then he gives us 2 quests. I've got a lot going on out here in Desolace, Gleekandassa. Rotten wants us to pick up some reagents for one of our clients, as well as fetch some of these lost items. Seeing as you're here to help out, why don't we get started?
My first order of business is for the Mage Carnital, a noble of some sort in Stormwind. Seems his ship was attacked by sea giants while off the coast in the northwest of Desolace. He and his servants tried to bring one of his more valuable chests ashore, but when the sea giants attacked in droves, he chose to abandon it and teleport himself and his servants to safety. He wants us to find the chest and its contents and return it to him in Stormwind.
Okay.
One of my tasks out here involves picking up some reagents for Leftwich, a gnome mage in Karanos. Roeton seems to think it's easy coin in the bank since we're out here already. He doesn't really care that we're short-handed as is. The first few items on his list should be easy enough to get, and it'd be a good chunk of coin for anyone helping me out. I need some horns and claws from the Hate Fury Satyr to the east of here. Bring them back to me, and we'll get started on the rest of the list.
Alright, so let's go ahead and continue to check this out. So this one's done. Reclaimer's business in Desolace. We have now finished our first quest today. And we just picked up... what was it called? the Carnitol Shipwreck, which that's actually step 1. That's down there. And this other one, the Reagents for the Reclaimers Inc. So also the beginning of a chain. All right. And what else? First of all, before we go up there, are there any little shops we need to explore here? That's a good question. So here's a little mail armor merchant. There's a cooking brazier. I don't see anything else over this way, but that east is this mountain.
I supply only the finest goods.
No, you know. Give me those. Yeah, I'll take that too. And I'm going to sell that. I spent like 2 gold on it, and I'm getting 11 silver back, so I screwed the pooch on that one. The heavy leather I think I need. Put it back in the bag. Whoopsie. Alright, so nothing special there, but up here, if we're going to get a shop, most likely it would be up here in the little station. The kind of night elf station that we have. Oh, I should make sure I talk to the flight path as well. That's important. Got to hit that up, because we want to be able to fly back here next time we come instead of walking from Stone Talon. Please remember to do that.
Looking for something specific?
Leecon, please remember. Oh, heavy Kodo stew and a mystery stew.
Safe travels.
Love that. Okay, so we gained a couple more stews. The heavy Kodo stew, of course, needing Kodo meat, and the mystery stew needing... Well, that's never going to work because we need beer.
My good. Your body looks worn and your spirit weary. Rest yourself beneath our roof and
She
allow
doesn't
Illum
sell
to guide
said
your
beer.
dreams.
Back here, I think there's... That guy, this is General Goods
Open for business.
girl. Christy Galvanis, if you want to buy
See you later.
ammo and stuff. That's the quest guy. Anything up here? Nope, just some beds. Open floor plan.
I received word of aid arriving from the east. Are you the source of these rumors? Have you come here to help the Scarlet Brother in its crusade? If so, then listen close.
So it's interesting that the Scarlet Crusade has these members, both in Stormwind and now here, and we're just like cool with them.
I will be frank. We are at war.
Hi, Frank.
Scourge.
I'm
It
Glee
is an
contestant.
evil that corrupts our people and infects our land. It must be stopped before it overwhelms us and drags our world into shadow. We of the Scarlet Crusade have sworn to fight the Scourge with body and soul. If you are with us, then gather your courage and prove your allegiance. Destroy the undead ravagers of Desolace in the Valley of Bones to the south. Do this, and the Crusade will embrace you.
Yeah, so obviously there's a little bit of a difference between what's going on in the relationship between the Scarlet Crusade and Horde versus Alliance. Like, Horde, they're just like, yeah, kill those fools on sight. They hate us, feelings mutual. Whereas the Alliance are like, okay, we're kind of like, on paper, we don't have anything really against you. Alright, what I want to do is go down and just see if this guy's hanging out right here. Maybe we'll get lucky. And then we'll hit the Centaurs up. And Reagents for the Reclaimers, yeah, we can hit that on the way back. But we'll just take a peek and see if that Bodyguard for Hire is available. You never know. I'm not going to follow it because we've already spent so much time. I'd like to get a little action here on this episode. We're already, what, like an hour in? Yeah, almost. And we're just now venturing out into Desolace to fight. The good thing is that we don't have a lot of quests that are, like, moot. As long as we get rid of Centaur Bounty, everything else is going to be like a positive leveling experience for us. Now fishing? Probably we'll be able to do that on the next one too. We're looking for competitive players to join our fast and efficient clears of all raid content. 2 90-minute Nax teams. Urgent need for hunters, warriors, paladins, mages, and priests. That's 5 out of the 9. So what they're saying is we don't care for... Oh, look. Did I just miss the bodyguard for hire portion? I think so, because he's running off. So that means there's nothing... I think I just missed it, or else I'm going to hit him on the way back. So let's go killing these centaurs. Oh, you know what? Yeah, if we're going to kill centaurs, let's get the ears from the centaurs down there. Let's do that. Because that's going to help us with our Gelkis reputation. See, even though those coal cars will give it to us, let's go kill those instead. That'll be even better. Instead of just killing rando centaurs that don't give us that much, this will be killing 2 horsemen with 1 stone. Because I think they can all drop the ears. So that's cool. Wolf Pally. Jim, the human warrior. Hey, Jim. Oh, that's what I forgot to do for myself last time when I was fighting. When I forgot old Giggles. I forgot to add my own buff to myself. Forgot to buff myself. Yeah, so couple of things I kind of dropped off mid-conversation. One is I'm thinking about going on there and promoting and just saying, hey, if you... Even if you're not watching the show, what are some talking points? What are some points of discussion that might be cool? And then we can kind of talk about those. And if I forget to do that, or if I don't get any good hits on it, I'll still try to come up with something different. Last time we talked about what was I excited for about each expansion, and I kind of covered them, but it also became... Ooh, there's iron. It also, at some point, kind of changed into me just talking about different things I was considering, not necessarily what I was really into. The other thing would be when I was talking about my meeting at work. And that's, I mean, even that in itself, it could be anything from my boss saying like, hey man, stop sulking, get your crap together. This, you know, even though I wasn't really sulking, I would, you know, one could say that it was very obvious that I was walking around disgruntled, and you should not do that if you want to be a leader, I suppose. Alright, let's get these. We're going to start killing Magrum just for the ears. Now, the reputation we're going to need, I just got a Lua error because I dared try to look at that. Yep. Okay, so I did get an ear from that. So 22 because we're Alliance, that's good. So you only need 1,000. Which is good. Right now I also have the Rallying Cry of the Dragon Slayer, that's a help. And what's my next level up? We're on the Holy... Am I on Holy Kick yet? No, because I still need Repentance. I also might be eventually picking up that. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I certainly need Repentance, though. Got a second ear. You can see that rep now. It's fine giving me rep. Now, once we hit the maximum, though, I'm not getting ears anymore from them. That's not gonna happen. Yeah, what am I supposed to do about that? Nothing I can really do. I've got the one stun. Oh, I forgot. This is where things are gonna really help us out. Oh, see, they've already... Oh, no, they're not. These are his bodyguards. Just kind of trying to ascertain what's the best way for me to mob these guys. And these are Warog's bodyguards. I mean... And his bodyguards are just respawning. So, they're lame. They're not giving me the same rep. So I need to stop fighting them. So just so you know, FYI, these bodyguards are lame. Like, they're not worth it. The XP is fine. But they only give you 1/5 of the amount. But yet they are giving me ears. Okay, I need to get out of there. What am I missing here? I guess I should have those things up. Missed it. I was taking a sip of my coffee. Should have planned that better. I'm not to not fight these wind chasers. They're more annoying. What did I do? I guess I could earth shock it when I was my shaman. Like, this is annoying. I mean, is there a different seal? That's maybe better. Hmm. Okay, we're getting good chunks of these. I hate this stupid... I'm getting away from these guys. I guess the good thing is we don't really have to kill these that much. But you have one that heals, and you have those stupid bodyguards. So, just yet another more reasons why killing these guys first and getting that out of the way is better. What's my rep? Sitting out with them. 170? That's like nothing. Okay, we've gotten 170 reputation so far. Whoopity-doo-dah. And yet we've gotten 6 of the 15 ears. Whoopsie. I'm not really worried about the ears because... Oh yeah, you know what? It's the opposite. Like, if I finish the ears off, then who cares? I'll just keep killing. Alright, so this is a little camp we're killing. Wranglers. A quality gene. And, you know, we're not doing a bunch of these today, but... Yeah, so... Depending on how that conversation goes, depending on who my new superior is, that's going to affect some of my life going forward. I expect the conversation to just be sort of neutral and vaguely unsatisfying. But if it were to be, like, hostile, where I was kind of scolded for how I reacted to the situation, which I don't foresee. I don't see that. I just don't really think that would be a good management style, but or a hedging of the bet, because there is a certain value, regardless of how you want to slice it. What I do has value. You know, I was basically told I should be happy that I get to add that value because I'm not doing someone else's job by doing what I do, just because these people above me are the person in the organizational flowchart that are over these areas that I am actually the one that does the work for it. That is normal for managers, and what I'm doing is freeing up my bosses so that they can use their time actually leading. So I should basically be happy about that. And I should exit this as well. I've already got into this, and I find myself spending way too much time on this show lately, and that's another thing I just don't like. Like, I've been doing this show, so we're coming up on 3 years. I used to never, ever, ever hardly talk about my job, I believe, in the beginning of the show. And it's become more and more of a talking point for me, and part of it's because I've been putting so much more into it, and really having a sort of been more motivated, and that's the whole double-edged sword. Like, the harder you try, the more invested you are in what you're working at. It's just human nature. So sure, on some level, you might want recognition, whatever that looks like. You might want compensation, whatever that looks like. You might want promotion or career evolution. So all of those things are just normal. And I have to, I guess, strike that balance of, I don't know. So, kind of up in the air. Knowing myself, most likely I will just settle in to the grind. But you just don't ever know. Alright, what I would like is we had those storm days, and we got very lucky where nothing really happened. We ended up getting a couple days off. We have to make them up, but I'm fine. Got some pants there. Love getting pants off strange people that I'm trying to kill. Also, we killed them, and were they wearing these pants? If not, why did they have them? Yeah. I love that those vengeance procs, they're gonna get good. Okay, I'm scared. I can't look at rep because look, when I do, Lua error. It says attempt to call, blah blah blah, so whatever it is, LVY in that specific case, the reputation bar, if you hover over it where it would normally pop up the details on said reputation, that causes a Lua error with this latest round of quote-unquote updates. Anyone need see, that's what I don't get. Why is this person like advertising that? Jardimus? They're not listed, so I wonder if they're just a level 60 and they're offering the help. Or else they're far below, because when you do what does it do within how many levels of you? It does 36 to 40. Okay, so it's within 3 levels of you. So that's not a very big range. I wonder if you can just take the filter off. Yeah, so that's why Jardimus is 35, and that's what it is. They kind of need help. They're trying to... I don't want to fight the hyenas because, unlike when we fight the earth elementals with the Gelkus, the hyenas don't give you any reputation. So, you just are like making your fight much more annoying and time. Oh, look at us. I definitely know we want repentance. 1 minute cooldown, and it's another stun kind of situation. It's more of an interrupt than a straight stun. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. And it only works against humanoids. So there's that element as well. We are officially level 40. We can get a mount. I'm going to wait until we actually need to go back to one of the capitals. I'm going to need to buy an advanced target dummy for this character too. Now, what do I need to do next? I don't know. Let's take a peek. Ret Pally Classic Talents. Yeah, I just had that thought. I was like, you know what? They're gonna be over here. No, not this. I like to use Icy Veins for this. But now we have a second interrupt on that. I'm gonna use. Let's go fight her and use it. I just want to see where we're at. Really, we need, because I want to start working towards consecration, but I also don't care that much about it. Didn't work. I was going to use repentance. Love being level 40. Love it. 20 levels to go. That's cool. Alright, so we are not doing leveling. First of all, yeah. That's the thing, we're not doing leveling. There we go. There's only two builds. There's a hit cap build and there's a non-hit cap build. I like to pretend as though I'm using the hit cap build. See what happens with this. Not really getting the opportunity. Got another ear. Yeah, so there's the hit capped. So it does open us up some of these over here. But in this chain, I still need another on Benediction. And I need another on Improved Seal of the Crusader. Got that. Got that. So there are 2 more points I can still do. So yeah, another bonus to Improved Seal of the Crusader. That'll be the next level. And then I'll do one for Benediction before I switch over, and then I will give myself Divine Strength, and I think I would give myself Divine Intellect over Spiritual Focus, which would then open up the Consecration. Then it would be between these two. 15, yeah, the cooldown reducing is pretty nice. Like Spiritual Focus is probably the least thing I care about. Why? Boom. That's 3. Like if I could give 2 points to something, which could go there, then that could also open up. Or I could just skip it and give me. I'd have 7 other points I could do. No. And that's where you get, like, protection. I guess there's just not a lot of other options. Would I rather have that healing thing over protection orb? Probably. Alright, what's our reputation looking like? Ah, we still need 346. Every single one is 22. So 324. And we still need 4 more ears. Which is fine. It's actually going to shake out probably about the same. We'll be alright. Now we only need 3 ears. These guys have also dropped their reputation. I don't know, not... Maybe they're unfriendly. So I don't know if that counts as the big stun. When I did the sleep. It seemed fine. But it also gives me that second stun. Now I have 2 1-minute cooldown stuns, which is cool. Love it. Okay. Yeah, so down to about 260. We are basically 3/4 of the way through the grind here, and we only need 2 more ears. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna just do these 2 things. My original plan was to go at least to around 4. We'll probably push it just a pinch past that. I don't really know what we're gonna do with the... I guess we'll make a... We can do a neutral run next time. Oh, look at that. I mean, we did our travel, we did our transition, and then we did this initial grind. We could also kill these Hate Fury on the way up. That's a possibility as well. I don't remember what these are. What Valarial Search does. Okay, we got all of our ears. Ears are done. Now it's just a matter of getting the last 192 rep. Okay, now we're down to 170 on rep. So now I'm going to do a straight count. We're going to see where we get. 170. 170 rep. Okay. 148 on the rep. 148 rep remaining. Might have screwed myself some with killing those bodyguards. That might bite us with a few kills later on the back. Okay, 126 remaining rep needed. None's too shabby. Should be 5 more kills. I did not get a nap. I love to get a nap, especially on the weekend. I couldn't sleep. Okay, so that's 104. 104 remaining rep. Should be 5 kills. 1 shot, 1 kill. Nice. Love that. Okay, so 82. 82. I don't like that Questy's not showing me the centaurs that I need to kill. You suck, Questy. $82. There should be 4 kills. And I don't think, yeah, see, the decrease isn't increased because, so it's not tied into the rep, it's tied to the action. So, like, we get the 22 rep, but that doesn't mean we're losing 110 or whatever. 120. Okay, so that's a flat 60 rep that I need. 3 more kills. Yeah, then I guess, because that's going to want us to go turn that in over there. I'm not even going over there yet. Okay, should be 38 rep. should be into the final 2 kills. Yeah, I think I'll go up and work on killing these guys, these Centaur. Even if that creates some redundancy later. Okay, we should just need 1 more kill. 1 shot, 1 kill. Save the Tatas run happening. I think that's like a breast cancer thing, right? Because we're in breast cancer month. Pretty sure that's what Save the Tatas is. Alright, so we can turn that in Strange Alliance. We didn't do it. We can also turn in Centaur Bounty. But let's go ahead and get the reagents as well. The different claws. We need 10 Hate Fury claws and 10 Hate Fury horns. And then I want to kind of look up this Valariel's search. Okay. So what's the second thing it has us do? It wants us to get the Malin pendant, which you get from him. And then he wants you to go back and find this guy inside the Thunderaxe Fortress. Yeah, so this is all about going into the Thunderaxe Fortress. That's what it's all about. Gotcha. This little Dread Swoop is really bonking us. Bonka, bonka, bonka. Bonka, 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 bonka. Alright, alright. We were supposed to have Columbus Day off next weekend, so I was supposed to get a 3-day weekend. But then they have taken that away because they said since we had storm closures, whatever, a week ago or whatever, a couple weeks back, because of that, we're going to take Columbus Day back from you. So we can make up the other time and then through overtime, like, make it up on your own. You just have to make it up. And then Columbus Day is now a work day. Okay, more iron. So that's kind of a bummer. I'm not really gonna...
I need to get closer.
I'm not gonna do... Yeah, again, I don't know how I feel. I kind of feel like just burnt right now, and this is my easy window of the year. I've talked about that before too. So I don't want to go rushing, and I mean, it's actually better for me to take off during the easy time of year. From, you know, now until Thanksgiving. We got a paladin with a two-handed sword, just killing it. Alright, so I think we have time at least for this one more quest. Where are we at? Yeah, we're at 123. I think that's good. I think this is all I'm gonna do today. I think we'll go ahead and kill these Hate Fury, turn that stuff in, and then we'll just see how we feel. What do I want to do next time? Do we want to cycle around with the caravan and then hit a bunch of neutrals? That's what I'm kind of leaning towards. I'm gonna save the Down the Scarlet Path. That's just such a higher level quest. I don't care about that copper. I'm not going after that. And we'll just see where these reagents, where that kind of drives us. And there's a tin right there too. So between the two, you basically have a bronze node set up. Alright, we need Hate Fury horns and Hate Fury claws. Let me refresh that. This is a little bit of a higher area. Sargeron. Oh, this guy is still worth nothing. So we're right on that borderline of XP. So, Desolace is... I mean, let's talk some, I guess, about what is Desolace. I learned a lot when we read Chronicles. I had no idea. In my mind, Desolace was just this, like, kind of... whatever. Just a doo-doo sort of land. It was Desolace was kind of desolate, even though it's not that much so. Okay, we got one horn. And when I learned that, hey, this used to be one of the major areas of the Tauren, right? And something happened essentially where that between like some demigod sections happened, and that created the race of the Centaurs. And there was also a tie between the creators of the Tauren and the creators of the Centaurs, because you have these two races that are essentially like half animal, half beast. I mean, half human, half humanoid. Got one of each on that one. I like it. And the battle that basically went on between the Tauren and the Centaurs that led to the land becoming desolate, and it's also tied to what's in Maraudon. Guess we'll learn more when we do some Maraudon lore, but I'm interested in that. I feel like it's been a while since I read it, and I need some more. Don't you dare. We could also, I guess, try to make like a blacksmithing kind of stone thing. Alright, where are we at here? We are a quarter of the way done. The grind on these. It'll slow down a pinch towards the end. I just did a quest like this in Dustwallow Marsh. Similar concept, where you're grinding a mob that can drop two different kinds of things, but then when it was killing Onyxia's brood, you needed the searing hearts and the searing scales, and one of them, I think you needed like 15 of each though, something like that. I don't know. I feel like, or maybe 10 of each. I don't know. I think it might have been 15 of each. A nice chunk, boom, boom, and all of a sudden, they're dead. But then what ended up happening was, like, I finished one. Let's just say you needed 15 of each. I finished one, and the other one still had like 5 or 6 left to go. So then the grind slows down because you're not having the chance where every once in a while we'll get 2 for 1. Like right now we have 6 claws and 2 horns. Well, you're only going to move as fast as your slowest thing. So the fact that we have 3 horns now, that's really the drop rate we should be looking at. Who cares about the other 6 if those finish? There we go, we got 1 of each, which is cool. That won't happen, so I guess technically we just passed the halfway mark, but I would say we're really more like 40% done, because I would go off of my slowest item. That's the best way to think about the RNG. So there's iron up there, we gotta go up there and get that. I just got a little error again for daring to look at that iron. How dare me. I did not play any WoW so far this week with Milady. And the quest to continue retail. I might play some tonight. I'm gonna have to see. I'm feeling kind of worn out right now. Feel the rain. There's a solid chest. We can open that. And there's I came up here for the iron ore, but. Ooh, a necklace. We do not have a necklace on this character. 5 agility, 4 stamina? Yes, please. That makes up for us never getting a necklace when we were in Nomergon grinding all that stuff, so cool. That was good. The Tundra Necklace of the Monkey. I will take it. I guess monkey is agility stamina? I would think a monkey would be like intelligence, but I guess not. And also, if we're talking about stamina, it feels more like apish, not monkeyish. But I will not complain. Agility stam, there we go. I think gorilla is like intelligence strength, because there's monkey and I guess there's gorilla. Man, those hits, I like it. I like these crits we're getting. Alright, alright. Okay, so we're almost done with the claw. Still, like I said, in reality, it doesn't really matter. Because you could really think we're 40% done. Okay, got one of each. And so now you could really think of us as being half done. I hear a stealthing creature around me. He just, yeah, tried to stun me. There we go. We actually get some caster magics. An immolation. That means we're fighting some kind of warlock. I also like all this cloth we're getting. We have a 60 cloth too. Silk. I need the silk and the mage weave. But we're not too silk yet because of the heavy silk is still upon us there. Okay, cool. Alright, so yeah, again, I guess we're really, and this is what I mean, this is, you can kind of see it playing out right now. When I said it's really, you're really only as good as your slower thing, because who cares that we're done with 10 claws if we're still grinding the exact same enemies for and we're still 5 short on the horns. It doesn't matter. So you really just look at your lowest thing and you go with that. That guy gave us 30 copper, that's it. Ooh. I do want to get us, before we do anything tough, I do want to get us our mount. I want to get us our level 40 powers. Alright, we got a horn. We do have to go to Ironforge. We are going to need to get the, cool, we're at 70. We are going to need to get the advanced target dummy also. That's not going to be used until we get to the Magrum, but something to consider while we're there too. I mean, we're also so high level on these guys that... Ew, gross. Got poisoned. But it's not going to really matter. Like, we're fine. Obviously, as you can see, we're doing just fine. Everything's going just fine. Yeah, so tomorrow I'll be busting out another episode of the Lore of Assassin's Creed. So please go to the Patreon and check out that and see if you like it. It's a little bit of a different vibe than when I do this show because Assassin's Creed's a totally different kind of game. In some ways, the lore is so different because there's such a... Well, one, it's all acted out. There's also, like, a big conspiracy theory. It's more cinematic, like a movie. Like, you're working towards this... I don't know. You're trying to peel back the layers and figure out what everything means. And in the beginning, in this Assassin's Creed 1, you really don't know anything. So you're trying to figure out who the assassins are, who you are, who the main character is, who are the Templars. So it's pretty fun. And then meanwhile, like, trying to understand that idea of, like, why are, you know, trying to set up a villain that's not one-dimensional, but that believes in the things that they're doing, believe they have a reason, even though some members of the organization might just straight up be like villains. Alright, we just need one more of these Hate Fury horns. Just one more. Let me go back to Nigel's point. Nigel's, what's the point? I don't know who the infamous Nigel is. I feel like I read that somewhere too, where it's like, hey, who is the Nigel of Nigel's Point? I don't think we ever answer that. You just need a brain. You don't need to think. What did that person say? Eel only asked for a brain, not how much. I got about 10% of one. Looking for a tank and... no. Looking for 1 DPS Strat Live Orb RR with a brain, please. So, I'm guessing they had a run that didn't go very well, and the DPS, quote-unquote, did not have a brain. And they would like someone better than the DPS that had no brain before. Kind of mean, but sometimes some people are frustrating. Asking for the old Gua. Actually, I haven't seen him on as much lately. At least not promoting. I hear a lot of people talking about him, but I haven't seen Gua himself. Maybe he's Guandid? Ha ha. Yeah, so I guess I want to finish out the Ret tree over the next 2 levels, so I guess I'll do my Seal of the Crusader next time. This last piece is getting quite annoying. So I made my key lime pie yesterday. I would say I made it well. The instructions, the recipe, I followed it well. The key lime pie part itself came out good. The crust came out good. I would say it's probably a little more crumbly than I want, but that's probably on me. I probably could have used some sort of kitchen device to press it more, but overall, still pretty solid. The one thing was, it wanted you to make your own whipped cream to put on top, and like around the edges of the pie. And when I read it, I was like, oh, it's just straight up, you're whipping heavy cream. That's it. It just put that on the pie, and I was like, that's weird. That's going to be like a very bland, and spoiler, it was. It's just basically like milk flavored whipped cream. So it all came out good. It looks pretty. It tastes good, except for that part. I'm like, and then I look at a lot of other recipes. Almost every other recipe I see has you mixing some powdered sugar in there when you make your own whipped cream. And I don't, not every single one, but I'd say like 90% of the ones I saw when I was checking this out. So I don't know why this recipe called for not a sweet whipped cream, but... Alright, let's turn these couple quests in.
Hey there.
Do you have a report, Contessa?
Ah, the ears well done. Your service to the Alliance is unquestioned, adventurer. The blood you spilled in Desolace will, no doubt, save countless lives.
Alright.
How are you?
Despicable creatures, the Satyr. Story says they're somehow tied to the Night Elves, but I'm not so sure I believe it. I think they get that on account of that one elf that brought them into the war a few years back. Well, it's never been the same since. A lot more dangerous, and a lot scarier.
Good, adventurer.
Not sure if these are of any good quality, but if Leftwich wanted a specific type, he should have specified before sending the Reclaimers out here to begin with. What say you to getting on with the next item on his list? Next on Leftwich's list is... let's see... oh, here it is. Simple enough, but pretty explicit in his directions. He needs venom from the Scorpashi and hide from some Kodo. The fine print says both are from specific creatures. The venom's gotta come from any of the Scorpashi, and the hide's gotta come from an aged Kodo, not the dying or ancient ones. Mages, I tell you, some of the stuff they want, it's just weird.
That's true. So they come from all over. This is just going to be a kind of as we travel. Whenever we see these things, we fight them. So most likely I'm going to go for Valarial Search next time and kind of work my way back and forth through there. And then we'll also have some work to do in terms of... in terms of the neutral guy stuff. All right, so that's this is it. I think we're gonna stop here. Maybe probably some point in the next episode we might go to Stormwind, but we have another episode in the pipe, 5x5, and I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching, for listening, for tuning in. See everybody next time on Lore of Warcraft.